All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers finding a way against the Eagles. Not really finding a way, just playing great. If we're being honest, what a game. Let's talk about all the things that went right offensively, and I mean, if we're being honest, it could have been even better offensively. What they were able to do against, admittedly, a very bad defense, a defense that people are blaming Patricia. It was bad before Patricia. Like the Patricia thing was a break glass in case of emergency, and then I don't know, that created another emergency, which didn't help things. But let's start off with a play like this. This is kind of the bind that the Eagles were in, where they were trying to play a lot of zone coverage. This is actually going to be cover 3 zone coverage, but they were trying to, play zone, keep things in front of them on a lot of times. But Tampa Bay was ready for this. They were able to do stuff like David Moore on this play. Mayfield takes the snap, and you're going to see, linebacker does a pretty decent job at stepping back and leaping up and trying to make a play here. But at the end of the day, there still is a window, and Mayfield is able to hit the, open receiver there. And that's just kind of what Tampa Bay was doing a lot, and it was definitely frustrating to Eagles' defense as well. But doing things like this kind of forced Philadelphia's hand in some ways. Because again, people are going to blame the coaching, but it's like, okay, cover 3 zone, not really working. That can help you stop the run a little bit, but that's not really working. So what else can you do? Well, maybe try to put an extra guy back there. Do something like this, the quarters coverage, this is the coverage that they played for the most of the game. They played a lot of quarters coverage in this one, which again, it's one of those things where against Mike Evans, typically what you have to do is play 2 safety deep, or at least have a safety shading him, but that's a little bit dangerous as well, because then you can leave the other side of the field open. So typically, you want to play 2 safety deep. Don't give him a one-on-one opportunity. However, just because it's quarters coverage doesn't mean a one-on-one opportunity can't arise. If the safety on that side of the field doesn't get over, there is an opportunity. Mayfield takes a snap. Again, this is early on in the game. You're going to see him fire one down the field, and there is not a huge window whatsoever. It's really going to take a perfect throw. But it is a perfect throw. However, Evans dropped it. Again, drops were just a massive issue. So that was kind of, in many ways, a disappointment of, you could have had a touchdown right there and didn't get it done. But what that signaled early on in the game was that Baker Mayfield is healthy. Because again, he did not look right against Carolina. He looked, quite frankly, very poor against Carolina. But seeing him make a throw like that makes you say, okay, he's back. He's healthy. Again, I keep hearing people talk about, well, they only scored 9 points against the Panthers. First off, they won a football game. That's not easy to do, even if it's the worst team in football. Hey, winning is still winning. But also, and again, maybe he just had a horrible day and I'm making an excuse, but I don't think so, because we saw him get banged up the week prior and then he came in and played horrible. It's reasonable to think that he just kind of rushed back and wasn't 100% there, and because of that, the offense did not play very well and now is playing at 100%. Again, got to make these catches. You can't keep dropping this stuff. That's not going to work against Detroit, but it is good to see that they can still get open and that Mayfield can still make the throws, even if there's some drops. You just hope, you assume that those won't continue to happen throughout the course of, the rest of the postseason. However long that may be, odds are one more game, but you never know. Also, going over here, we got to talk about the Eagles defense. This is kind of, a great play to show the Eagles defense. This is later on in that drive. That was on first down to Evans drop. This is 3rd down and 7 here. It's again David Moore running a route over the middle, hopefully going to get the first down. That's what you're hoping here. Mayfield takes the snap. There is pressure and honestly maybe even a hold there, but does not get called. Mayfield is able to make the throw, and you see the Eagles defender who's trying to cover more just fell down. So, okay, that's not ideal if you're an Eagles fan, but things get a little bit weirder here because it's not just that. To me, they talk about in hockey a decent amount, battle level. That's something that they always bring up of the who wants it more thing is usually a pretty dumb thing that people say. Usually that's a little bit silly because, who wants it more? Well, a lot of teams typically want it. But how bad do you want it is still a real thing. Because look at there, watch Mike Evans. Mike Evans kind of just standing around, not doing, doesn't have to do a lot. You could easily see him kind of just jog over, get ready for the next play. But watch what he does compared to what some of these Eagles players do. Because watch how he's going to, once he realizes what's going on, he does get over, and he doesn't just lay one block there. He actually gets over and is in position to lay another one. So great stuff there by, Evans, just to, make an impact, right? Hey, you dropped the pass earlier. This is a way to make up for it. Still, for Philadelphia, you'd think that you can at least get a tackle here. And as you see, somehow they are not able to make that happen. I mean, the missed tackles, you have to, again, a lot of people are blaming Sirianni and the coaching staff. And, again, I don't know if you put that on coaching or if you just put that on, I don't know, the players. What do you do there? I mean, you have to blame the players to some degree. They're the ones not making the play. But also, it's compete level. It's finding a way to make a tackle. Go the extra mile. I saw plays where someone's at the Buccaneers players in the sideline and an Eagles defender is kind of peeling back instead of going all out to try and make a tackle, Like those little things in the playoffs, they matter, and Philadelphia wasn't doing it, and Tampa Bay was. Obviously, this one, another one where it's going to be Trey Palmer here, and a couple things to note. For one thing, so it's man coverage, Trey Palmer on James Bradberry, which, listen, James Bradberry did not have a great season. I mean, he's supposed to be their number 2 corner. He's not, going up against Trey Palmer, who's made some plays this season, but isn't, a superstar receiver or anything like that. Watch how when this play begins, and one of the things about Bradberry is speed has never been his strength, so you see him kind of playing pretty far off of Palmer. Palmer is a fast receiver, so I wonder if he's just a little worried about getting burned deep. But I mean, a throw like this, you're just giving Tampa Bay a first down, basically. So that's already bad. But then watch how things get worse. Watch Bradberry. Again, you got to give credit to Trey Palmer, but it's not like Palmer's making a great move in forcing that missed tackle, really. That was kind of just, I don't know, Bradberry slid off of him, and now he's at this point, Palmer is, where, again, this is where angles come into play, and taking the wrong angle can be key, although, again, Palmer is so fast. You see him kind of sprint by the safety and get by everybody else. To some degree, that one was a good move by Palmer for sure, but also an error by Philadelphia, definitely that as well. And this play was kind of the dagger because they were up 9 at this point. That put it up 16, and didn't feel like Philadelphia was going to score 16 given the way that game had gone so far. Even this play was just hilarious because first off, I'll just say this. A weird decision by Tampa Bay. So Philadelphia is playing cover 0. For me, if I'm Tampa Bay, I'm running it into cover 0, and okay, you're probably not going to get the first down. That's fine. Let's just not create any turnovers or anything like that. We'll kill another 40 seconds because the Eagles are out of timeouts at this point. Go up 19. It's basically, the game's basically locked at that point. But they're throwing, so Mayfield, while getting hit, he's going to just lob one up to Chris Godwin. This is, as pure as a, 500 dead or alive type play as you'll see, just throwing it up there. And Godwin's the one who adjusts. He makes the play. And again, being able to make the play, right? Having guys who can win their one-on-one matchups. That's what was happening downfield all game for Tampa Bay. Mayfield was making great throws, and the Eagles weren't tackling. And, the only thing that went wrong offensively was catching the football, which is something that you assume will not continue to happen. So, really good performance by them. They're playing a better defense in the Detroit Lions. I'm not saying a great defense, but a better defense than what the Eagles have, just because how bad the Eagles defense is. But there definitely will be moments where they can throw on, that secondary. Lions have things they can do as well to counter it. They have at least a competent defense, so, it should be interesting. But I'll, of course, have my, previews and my predictions and all that stuff coming up, just in a couple of days. So make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can be on the lookout for that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on all of that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.